Okay, Chapter 1, Lesson 1, Basic Geometric Figures. Go ahead and pause the video here and take all of these notes onto your notebook. Okay, what we're going to have to add to that, when I do a point, I can use any capital letter. So if I was discussing this picture here, I would just call A capital letter for a point or B. If I'm doing a line through 2 or more points, I use the line symbol above the 2 points that I'm going through. If I want to do a line segment, which is just a chunk of the line, I'm going to use dots on both with my 2 letters that it's going to. When I do a ray, which is starts with an endpoint and then it goes through a point and it continues on in that direction, I just use the symbol with the 2 points it's going through. Whenever I do an angle, I'm going to use this symbol for an angle. It's kind of like the less than sign, but it's a little bit more flat. And then when I do an angle, I always need 3 letters. So if I was doing this one up here, I would use B, A, C. And this middle letter here always has to be the vertex or the point that's in the middle of it. Whenever we do a plane, which would be like this whole section of stuff here, it'll always have something in italics. So if this was plane D, it would kind of look like that. And our last definition, skew lines are 2 or more lines which are not intersecting, but they are also not parallel. So think about if I drew a line on the floor and a line on the board. So they're in 2 separate planes. They're not parallel, but they also would never cross. For exercises, step 1, name 5 points. And I can pick any of them. So I'm going to do A, capital, B, C, D, and E. Those are the only 5 points actually that are listed on this one. For number 2, name 2 lines. I could name DB or BD. It doesn't matter the order. And AC or CA. The plane, the only plane here is R. 3 segments. I could do AC. I could do EC and DE. Lots of answers for that one. 2 rays, lots of answers again. I could do EB. I could also do DB. And 2 angles. Angle AEB would be one. And angle DED would be one. Again, the only important thing was for all of the angles you were going to list, they all have E in the middle. The points on the map below represent the positions of different objects at Higgins Park, and use this for exercises 1 through 10. Number 1, draw the geometric figure that represents the path John travels as he walks from the picnic table to the volleyball court. Name that figure. Well, that would be line segment PV. We use P for picnic table, V for volleyball court. Number 2, draw the geometric figure that represents the path Darla travels as she walks from the shelter to the restrooms and continues past in the same direction. From the shelter to the restrooms and walks past the restrooms and continues. So that would be Ray SR. Number 3, draw the line that includes the position of the picnic table and the baseball field and name it in 2 different ways. So we know it's going to be a line. And I don't even need to look at the picture because I know it's going to be the picnic table with the baseball field or the baseball field to the picnic table. Draw the line that includes the position of the restrooms and the volleyball court. Name it in 2 different ways. Restrooms, volleyball court, restrooms. Now I do have to draw the pictures, picnic table and baseball field. and the restrooms and the volleyball courts. And it says, do the figures you drew in exercises 3 and 4 intersect? And the answer is yes. What point lies on both line PV and PR? So if I have line PV and line PR, which point lies on both of them? And the answer is point P. Question 7. Will PV and RS, PV and RS ever intersect? And if I continue both of these, the answer would be yes. Sandy and Larry are standing at the picnic table. Sandy walks to the baseball field and Larry walks to the volleyball court. Name the angle formed by the two different paths in two different ways. Starting at the picnic table and going to the baseball and the volleyball. Oops. Okay. Start at the picnic table and go to the volleyball and go to the baseball field. Again, the only really important thing is P needs to be in the middle because that's the vertex of the angle. So I have angle volleyball court, picnic table, baseball field, or angle baseball field, picnic table, volleyball court. What is the vertex of the angle that the angle forms in exercise 8? We already said P. Name the figures that make up the sides of the angle. So if I'm looking at just the side, that side, or this side, the picture for both of them is a ray. So ray, picnic table, volleyball court, and ray, baseball field, volleyball court, or baseball, picnic table, baseball field. That's all we have. There's your homework.